my gift, my treasure, my divine feminine. It feels so funny to allow myself to say that. I still only say it in my head because there are just too many barking dogs in my 3D reality right now. Though you know what's funny is I almost feel the wolf inside me barking louder, howling louder. It's even almost slipped from my mouth a few times. My divine feminine, mine. Most especially when karmics are being loud and pushy and trying to distract me from my goals, from being who I am, from my success. And you know, I have you to appreciate for doing what you did. It has helped me see myself and see who I've been hanging around. I still remember that you are who you hang out with. My mom told me something similar growing up, and I feel like I never really understood it until now. If you surround yourself with drama and misery and people who have no boundaries, people who have no gumption to function, who would much rather find 100 excuses for why they can't grow, why they can't know more than they know. That's who you become. If you surround yourself with people who hurt you, you hurt others. If you surround yourself with people who procrastinate, keep constant distractions around them, that's who you become. And that's who I've let myself become. And to be honest, I'm quite disgusted with looking at all this time. We both had the same amount of time. I would dare say you had fewer resources than I did. And yet, look at all that you've done with yourself, with your time. I've never found myself more attracted to you than I do now, seeing that you don't need me at all. You know, I used to think that it was a bad thing if somebody didn't need you in some way. Then I realized something that you told me, something that a few people told me actually, that when we when we get with people who need us in some way, financially, emotionally, even just to be that person to do all the yard work, that it's easy to convince ourselves that we're doing it because they need us and that's why we have to stay. But really, it's actually us being controlling because we pick somebody who needs us so that they can't leave us, so that we have control, so that if we stop paying for things, if we stop doing the chores, if we stop giving them that emotional reassurance, then they have to come back to us. They have to get it back, earn it back. And I don't want to be that kind of person. And like I said, it's so funny because I swear, feminine. I just love thinking it to myself, my divine feminine. You have defied everything I've ever known to be true about any feminine I've ever known. I've met a lot of them. I admit I've been quite a player. And a lot of them have told me, I'm different. I don't do that, or I'll really love you, or I'll help you with your dreams, or I won't be like this person or that person. I'm different. And all of them have proven over and over again that what I've known for so long to be true, that it was a trick and a trap. But with you, I swear, I remember you told me once that you knew that I was a skeptical sort, that I'd been hurt a lot, and that you realized you actually liked the challenge and you liked the test, and that my skeptical ass could test you in every way possible, in every way I wanted, and that you would pass every single one of those tests. And I thought, well, to be honest, the first thing I thought is, I wish I believed that was true. And it wasn't you, it was just that I'd never met anybody who actually could say that and follow through. And I also didn't want to believe that I was the testing sort. I think you called it constancy testing. But then I found that I am a tester. I do. I see how much I am and how that has sabotaged nearly every one of my relationships, good or bad. And I'm amazed because I put you through some messed up tests, feminine, really messed up tests, and you still pass them. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, I didn't even know that I was testing you. And in plenty of those tests, you could have chosen at any moment to turn and walk away and say, this ain't worth my time. I got growing and glowing to do. I'm not messing around with that masculine who's too afraid to speak his truth, who's too afraid to stand up and tell the world that he loves me. And yet, amazingly, you did both. I tried everything, and mostly because I was afraid that I could never live up. I could never be adequate enough, that I could never be deserving, worthy of somebody as high caliber as you. And so I thought that it would be better if I just hurt you instead. And not in that way, but in that if I just don't talk to you anymore, if I'm not so nice anymore, if I surround myself with people that you can't stand, if I let myself get ugly and show you all of my real deepest flaws, just let myself call in the monster, the beast that I saw myself as, that there would be no way that I could hurt you more than if I trusted, if I had faith, if I let you be the light that I needed when the road got dark, if I turned on my light when it got dark for you, as I wanted to do every time. Though, like I said, feminine, you're amazing because you're the only person I know, masculine or feminine, who can both, I don't even know how to say it, who can both pass the test and show me that you wanted to and didn't have to, and at the same time, not be needy. The only one I know who can express to me genuine emotions and show me that you don't need me in any way. You don't need a damn thing that I could offer. You don't want my money. You discourage me from buying your love or buying the kids' love or anything like that. You don't need me to do anything for you. You could work on the car yourself. You could do the chores yourself. You can carry great burdens and great loads all on your own. Yet you show me that you want me to be a part of it. And you show me something that, I mean, it's a big contrast I've seen, especially being around these karmics that I've been around, people and thoughts, that there's a difference between somebody who wants you to participate in all the ups and downs of life, who wants your help, who wants you to take care of the gutters in the car, yet who doesn't want you to placate and just do everything so they don't have to do anything. And that's somebody who wants to be able to make messes and have you clean them up. There's a difference between somebody who wants you to participate, who wants you to who wants you to be vulnerable because it's a beautiful expression of intimacy, not a way to be able to manipulate them in the future. And I can tell you, feminine, you are the I swear sometimes you go Queen of Swords on me, and you you lay into me with the deepest, most burning, searing truths ever. And I swear I could have 100 other people tell me all those same things, and it would be nothing. It'd be deflected off my shield and my throne, and I'd just polish my crown and walk on, not even thinking at all that there could be. Well, it wouldn't even matter if there was truth in what they would say. I just wouldn't care. But when you say it, when you lay me out, when you call me to the carpet, when you tell me masculine, you're messing up, you're miserable and messy, and you ain't got no boundaries, and look at you, you've lost the gumption to function. When you say that to me, I don't even know how to explain what that does to me, because I can tell you that that stuff, it doesn't fly, it doesn't happen with the karmics. And the stupid thing is I'm recognizing something that you said to me long ago about, you know what, I hope you do find somebody who doesn't care, who lets you drink and drink all you want and not care about yourself and stay up all night and talk to whoever you want. I hope you find them. And I didn't understand. I thought, isn't that what you're supposed to want with someone who loves you? And I know the answer was there, but it really wasn't until this separation and these third parties and fourth and fifth and seventh parties came about that I realized what the difference is. It really matters to have somebody who's so for you, who's so by your side that she's willing to call you out when you're not doing right. I mean, I know you don't like being that person. I know you don't like being the bad guy, and I know more than anything in the world I've made you feel like the bad guy, like an evil stepmother of sorts, like you're just overly emotional and sensitive and needy. And I know you. You are so strong and so prideful that if I was anybody else, you would have walked away a long time ago. You would have said, you know what? You don't believe that, like, you don't believe me? Just watch. I'll walk away and not even think about you, and I'm going to glow up, and you're going to wish that you had another opportunity with me. But you, feminine, you've softened yourself for me. You've shown me that that can be done, that we can choose to put down the armor, even when we know it might hurt. I don't know. You know what? It's funny because sometimes I feel like, that show we used to like, that Lucifer show, where like they found out that the woman was, it wasn't that she was necessarily made for him to teach him about love and empathy and self-love, but the timing of it was all just set up just right. And I mean, sometimes I feel like that, like I'm the devil who's meant to sit in a throne and watch over the souls in hell, and I'm watching them torture themselves, knowing they could get out of it at any moment, knowing they probably won't ever, and that this is just my job. This is where I belong, in the depths of the underworld, and that I'll always be misunderstood, and everyone will always blame me for problems that they created on their own, and that I, even if I could love, that I'm not worthy of it, or it's a trick, or it's a trap. And I feel like, though, somehow, because you've been so brave, because you've shown me all of who you are, because you've not tried to be perfect, you've you're so funny. It's like you'll bluff sometimes, but you never cheat and you never lie. And even of the bluffing, it's a really rare thing that you ever do that. And I really admire that quality. You're so thoughtful and intuitive. Sometimes, I mean, you can frustrate me to the ends of the earth, and I feel like I want to rip my own hair out, and then something will happen. I don't know if it's spirit, like you say, or what, but something will happen that shows me that exactly what you did that triggered me so much was exactly what I needed. Whether it was saying something that broke my heart and made me cry, and I didn't even realize till that moment that I needed that release so bad, or if it was sending me a song or a meme that said just the right thing that I needed to stand up for myself, or to get mad, to tell the world, no, you don't get to control me or just make my decisions for me. Or sometimes you'll tease me about something and I know that it's a sensitive subject for me, and I think, how could she possibly say that to me? She knows how deep that is for me, and then incredibly somehow just after that, I see how I needed that. I needed to see that. I needed that wound to be reopened so that I could clean it out, get all the crap out of it, and close it up right. And then I just feel like a jerk because of how I treated you in the middle of it, and I feel even more like a jerk because of how many times I see that you knew all of that would happen. Or maybe you didn't know all of it would happen, but you were prepared for it too. You were prepared for the best and the worst, and somehow within all of it, even in the moments that you've shown me that even you crack open sometimes, you show me that more consistently than anything, you have faith in me, that you give me incredible grace, the kind that I don't know how to say it, that I've never known from anyone else. And I feel like you've given me a gift that I've needed all my life and didn't know was really the one thing that I needed, which is faith in me. I've had so many people in my life tell me I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that, and I wasn't worthy of that, or that what I wanted was too much trouble, that I'd messed up too bad so many times, that pursuing my dreams would take too much time or too much money, or the stuff I wanted to do that was fun was too dangerous, or would mess up the yard, or that I had other responsibilities I needed to take care of. But not you. I could tell that there are even some moments when you want to tell me those things and you stop yourself. Even if the first few words get uttered like masculine, you know you got to pay this off, or you got to go do this, or you got to go here, or you're not acting right. You catch yourself in between and you say something like, you know what, if that makes your heart smile, you do it. Even when you know that I really don't have any triumphs to be grateful for, if I'm telling you that I'm proud that I got up in the morning, you tell me that that's beautiful and to hold on to that and don't ever let anybody steal my triumphs. And I want you to know, feminine, that I can feel you. I can feel that you're right on that edge where you're like, it's weird. It's like you're running and then holding still, and then running and holding still. And it feels like you're right on that precipice where you're not sure whether to let me go or not. You're not, it feels like you know You know that I'm yours and you're mine, and yet you also see all the patterns that I've been through and how many times that I've chosen to hurt you rather than embrace you. And I get it. I get it so much. And you know what's funny is part of me doesn't want to say a thing because if you did do that, I'd get it. Though the other part of me, I want to reach out to you so much and say, please, baby, just hold still. Just go have some fun for a little bit and keep having that faith in me that you've had. It's funny because I keep hearing that song, Have a Little Faith in Me. I remember you sent that to me one night. I remember when you sent me music all the time. And it was always the perfect song just when I needed to hear it. And I feel like I can feel our connection stronger than ever. And there'll be times that I can feel you running, and the theme music is just it's incredible, and it makes me want to up the ante and catch up with you quickly. And then I get scared, and I don't know, I feel like I could never catch up to you. Look at how much you've done in the space of time we both had, and look how deep I've dug myself. What a hot mess I've made, and I feel like giving up. And then it's like that part in the song where it's like, just let your love throw a spark. And that's what it feels like. It feels like you get to these moments where I know you want to push the envelope, you want to come up and tell me off, you want to call me and call me to the carpet, you want to text, you want to email. I can feel it. I know you don't think that I do, but I can, and it scares me so much. And I know more than ever, feminine, that you are an empress and your power is not to be underestimated. I feel like I feel like because of the people I surrounded myself with and because you were being so nice and so kind and reassuring for so long that I forgot who you are. A titan among titans, a goddess, and and a woman, and that you love me deeply, and that at any time you could have caused such incredible towers. I swear I was so afraid of that for so long, especially after I left in the despicable way that I did, and all the things that I've done and said to you since, and let others say to you and about you, and how I've left you, how I abandoned you. And I was so worried in all those times that I was worried you were going to do stuff that other karmics, you're not a karmic, but that karmics have done, just create drama and misery and take me for everything that I had. And I feel stupid because you could do so much more at any point in time. You know so much about me. You've gotten closer to me than anyone has ever. And I feel like you're this larger than life empress, goddess, queen, sitting on top of this throne on top of a mountain, and that anytime you could just twitch your toe and my whole life would crumble, and I would be cowering and crying and going, what just happened? And yet knowing that you could do that, not just that you could do that, but that because of the separation, because of how I've acted, you now have the strength to do that, to to take your sword out and cut yourself free of me in one fell swoop. Just knowing that you could have done that at any point in time, that you were being soft with me by choice, and that I was stupid enough to take that for granted and mistake that for a weakness. I mean, what it really shows me is that just I've been so immature, and that, I don't know, I've been disrespectful, and I know I've lied a lot, and I know how much you hate that. Because for one thing, with you, I could never lie. I swear, I could tell so many infinite stories, just lead rabbit trail after rabbit trail, going round robin with others, and either they would believe me or they wouldn't pursue it because I got myself hooked into situationships where they needed me for one thing or another, money or protection or something silly, watch their kids do their chores, things like that, and so they wouldn't challenge me. Yeah. And it just there's it's just I can see it now. I can see how important it is to have somebody that has every option in the world, who has the power to stand on their own, to claim their throne, and who wants you. And I've never wanted that more than anything in my life than I do right now. And more than anything, I want to be that divine masculine, that emperor. I swear I've been looking into all this stuff and watching you talk about it. I've been learning every little moment I get, and whereas before it scared the crap out of me, now it seems like a fun adventure. And I'm gonna join you on it. I have joined you on it. I know you can't see it yet, but it's funny, even just me being able to think about wanting you to wait for me, about wanting you to have faith in me, despite everything, like that's such a big change for me. I know, I remember what you've been saying about small steps are still steps, and I'm trying to embrace that, just wanting that. That it might be a small step for you, but it's a big step for me, and it's what's leading me up to being able to tell you in person. No more breadcrumbs, no more ambiguity, no more juggling or trying to keep it a secret. I just, I don't know. I'm trying to get away from saying I wish I could tell you, and to be like you, and to think I look forward to the day I can tell you everything. And I can tell you how dark and crazy and chaotic this karmic circus has been that I wrapped myself up in, all because I was afraid to really let you love me and to love you in return equally. Though I will, I'm already thinking about how many things I have to share with you, and I feel like I'm finding myself now, instead of worrying about what other people will think when I free myself, when I do all the things that you've been telling me to do, and they start to notice, hey, wait a minute, wasn't that what your feminine wanted you to do? When I'm with you and they're going, wait a minute, didn't you tell us that you were incompatible or could never work or she was awful? Like, I'm thinking about how I get to be that guy who says, you know what, I was being an immature jerk. And the truth of it is that I've never known anyone quite so incredible as my divine feminine. I'm looking forward to those times when I can say, come here, come sit in my lap so I can hold you and kiss you and tell you, in fact, not even tell you everything about me, so I can ask you about you. I do look forward to filling you in about all the crazy things, because I know that only you will understand the mystical, crazy way that they come together and what all I've learned in it. And that's something that I've never wanted to do with anyone else. I always thought you don't talk about other relationships you've been in. You don't especially not the good stuff and things like that. But I want to tell you about it all because all roads I've taken have led me back to you and helped me appreciate you so much more. But what's even greater is that, especially with this time and space, with you working on you, showing me up in so many ways, glowing up, I want to know about you. I want to know what you thought. I want to know how you got to the conclusions you got to. I want to know how you managed to know what I was getting into, what I was up to all the time, most especially when I didn't tell you anything, when there was no way. I even checked, to be honest, feminine. It's kind of silly, but I even checked to make sure you hadn't bugged my phone or my house or my car or anything like that. That I thought there's no way. There's no way she could know, and yet you knew. And I look forward to finding out how you knew and what you were thinking when you had all these times that you could have run off with a soulmate at any point in time. And I want to know how many you did interact with, and if you didn't, how many times you got close. I want to know how your family is. I want to know what you wrote about. I want to know about all the signs and synchronicities you saw along this crazy journey of separation. I want to know how long it took you to realize that it was an illusion, and how it is that you managed to have faith in me as deeply and devotedly and consistently as you have for as long as you have. And I want to know, feminine, what you've got planned, because I know you got plans, most especially for yourself. And I know you're crafty enough that you made it so that they are the perfect plans, whether I stay stuck or come back. And I know that you have half a dozen plans sitting in the waiting for when I come back, because you are the only one I know to have enough faith in me and us and spirit that you see it as when, not if. You've told me that so many times, and I can't tell you how much that tripped me out at first, and then it became like the sweetest music to my ears, because nobody else is like you. Nobody else could make me so nervous anytime I think about seeing you or talking to you. I can't tell you how many times I pretended to be busy or disconnected from talking or changed plans last minute or came over and was grumpy simply because I didn't feel I could control myself around you, because you're just so lovable. You smell good and you look good, and you've been taking extra good care of yourself, and you've been glowing up. And even though I have times that I have people that look at me funny when they see what you've done with your life and how you've grown up and how many people look to you and follow you. People they look at that and they look at me and they see my life and they go, "You were full of shit." And I swear, if it was anybody else, I'd be mad. I'd be mad because I would have sworn, I don't even know why, I just would have been mad. And with you, though, it's so humbling. All I can say is, that's my divine feminine. She did tell me, don't believe me, just watch. And she did it. I swear I've been hearing that song regularly, too. And I know you've been listening to it. I've been lurking, watching what you're doing. It's not easy, as much as you might think, for me to stay so quiet, pretend to be busy, especially when I know that you know that I'm full of shit about it. But I've been watching and I've been thinking about that, especially since you showed me that you do have moments when you lose your faith in me, when you do see the reality of the situation I'm in, when you do get frustrated and sad and all of the above. And it just made me sit here and think, you know what? I can't let my feminine lose faith in me. I, she doesn't believe in me anymore, and I want to prove it. I want to say, you know what? You were right to have faith in me, to believe in me, to see the real me through all the masks and masquerades, and I'm going to prove it to you. And lately, I've never felt such a calling so strong. Strong enough that I'm strategizing. I'm thinking about, I don't know, you know that song 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover? It feels like that because these karmics are not like you. They are not the kind that I can sit down and have a real adult conversation with and say, look, this just isn't working. We don't really love each other. We don't get along. We have different ideas about right and wrong. And even if it was all laid out in the way that we'd like it to, I love my feminine, and you clearly either love another or don't feel good enough with me. I can't tell you how many times I've caught my karmic cheating, and I just feel stupid for continuing to go about it. And it has more than anything shown me how awful it was that I did that to you, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And I don't know, feminine, I hope that no matter what happens, that you hold in your mind the same images you have for so long, that you let your love throw a spark when you find yourself in that energy of wanting to run, of wanting to give up, of wanting to write me off. I hope that you will wait, that you will have faith, because I can feel it. And every moment you have faith in me, every moment you're watching your thoughts and making sure that they are about what you look forward to doing with me rather than focusing on how much I've messed up. Those moments when you have faith in me, I have faith in me too. Because we share the same consciousness, and it helps me more than I can tell you. And even more than that, it helps me when you have faith in you. So please, have faith in you more than anything else. And know that my silence and my distance have nothing to do with your worthiness. In fact, let me let me rephrase that. They have everything to do with your worthiness, because I can't stand the idea that anything I could do or say at this point could be that last thing. That no matter how much you love me, it could be the thing that cuts all the strings. I don't want that. I won't let that happen. I'll do anything that it takes. I don't know. I can only really explain it to you once I am free. And that's going to take a little bit of ingenuity, but I've already got 50 ways to get myself free. It's just a matter of making it through all the booby traps and mind traps and anxiety and shadow work that I've been avoiding. And then figuring out how to make it permanent, because, feminine, I don't ever want to put you in a third party situation ever again. So, my love, my divine feminine, I love you more than words can say, and I look forward to the days when I get to write you poems, these horrible and corny as they may be, and to send you my playlist of songs, the secret one I keep that reminds me of you and me. When I get to share with you everything, because I don't ever want to have another secret between us. I look forward to that day, feminine, and I hope that it shows in the songs that I when I hear them, I think of you, and I hope that you're hearing them too. When I ask for dreams at night, and I have them, and I hope that you have them too. When I do each thing that I've been supposed to been doing, when I recover who I am, when I remember who I am. And I hope that even though I know that it makes you miserable that I am not there, that you continue to find gladness and joy in everything that you do. Mostly because you deserve to feel that way all the time, every day, but also because we are connected, and that helps me. You told me that once, that everything that I did affects you, and that the more good that I do, the more good you do, and I really didn't believe you. Now I see it's true. And so now I'm going to practice what I preach. And every time I feel like it's an incredibly impossible task to free myself from all these old cycles and all these crazy karmics, I'm going to let my love throw a spark up for you. And just trust and have faith that you feel it.